What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know so. And this is the bowl prediction thing. I'm just going to be predicting the bowl games. We're going to go through all, I think there's 40 of them. So we're going to do this real quick. But before we get into that, go ahead, leave a thumbs up. Really helps the video get discovered if you enjoy the content, of course. And if you really do enjoy the content, become a bro and subscribe. I got a lot of draft content on here, and I'm wrapping up all my fantasy football content for this past season. So hey, if you like any of those, I will be doing video games eventually, maybe once Madden gets good again. But NCAA, that's gonna be so fun when it comes out. So I want to get that incorporated back into the channel. But let's go ahead, let's get into this. Let's start with the Bahamas Bowl. We got Buffalo versus Charlotte. Oh gosh, I'm all choked up already. But Buffalo is a 6.5 point favorite. It's a 56 point over under. I got Charlotte though. A lot of people are picking Buffalo in this game. I got Charlotte winning 31-20. Buffalo, they're playing their backup quarterback, and I just like the combination. I really like Alex Highsmith. I think he could dominate this game. And then Benny LeMay has been very dominant in the smaller conferences. So I got Charlotte winning that one. On to the Smoothie Bowl. Is it the Smoothie Bowl? Oh, it's the Frisco Bowl. Silly me. But we got Utah State versus Kent State. They think this one's gonna be a bar burner. It's gonna be, they have a 66.5 point over under. They got Utah State as a 7 point favorite. I think you could probably go over. I know Dustin Crump's been really good for Kent State, but it's Jordan Love's final game. I think he's gonna go out with a bang, and I'm pretty sure he is playing. But I checked that before. If you want to make any bets, I won't bet on this. You gotta bet on those higher bowl games. You know, we're talking like Peach Bowl, with the big conferences. But let's go ahead. Let's go to the New Mexico Bowl. Or yeah. We got Central Michigan versus San Diego State. Over under is 41. San Diego State's a 3.5 point favorite. I got them winning. You could probably bet this one over. Not over, but you could bet that San Diego State, I think they're going to win by a lot more. I think the run game goes wild. The pass rusher for Central Michigan, what was it? Desena? I'm going to butcher that name. But I don't think he'll even get a chance to be a pass rusher because San Diego State, they love the run game so much. On to the next. We're talking the Cure Bowl. Man, see, I'm always surprised by the names of these bowls. It's like, just because there's just so many of them now. There's too many. But we got Liberty versus Georgia Southern. I really like Liberty in this game. They are the underdog. They got Georgia Southern as a 5.5 point favorite, 58.5 point over under. But I like the matchup between Kendall Vildor versus Antonio Gandy Golden. I think Golden's the better prospect. And honestly, low-key, I think Liberty is a pretty solid defense, especially the secondary there. On to the next. We're going to the Raton Bowl. Ooh, this one is going to be a shootout. SMU versus Florida Atlantic. It's a 70.5 point over under. SMU's a 3 point favorite, and I think they will win. I got them winning 34-30, and I just think the combo there of Bouchle and I think it's pronounced Brochet. I don't know, but watch for him in the draft. This boy could be a late round gem. But I think that combo is just too much through the air for Lane Kiffin's squad. And then we're on to the next. We're going to the Chamomile Bowl or Camellia Bowl. I don't know. I can't pronounce stuff. But Florida International versus Arkansas State. I got one word. I got two words, actually. Omar Bayless. He's a phenomenal receiver there for Arkansas State. I got him winning 24-17. Over under 63. Arkansas is a 2.5 point favorite. Then we got the Motors. Oh, the Mitsubishi Motors. It's the Las Vegas Bowl. Why am I trying to pronounce words? But it's Washington versus Boise State. I was amped up because I thought Chris Peterson's was gonna, face off against his old squad. But he is now resigned, but he's still there in spirit. I think he's gonna help advise the sports program, or at least the football program. At least that's what I've understand. Boise, they're prone to slow starts. So I got Washington win this one 31-24. Over and under is 29 or 49.5. And Washington is the favorite by 3.5. On to the next New Orleans Bowl. Appalachian State versus UAB. I got a slaughter. Appalachian State, they deserve a much better bowl the way they played. They had one misstep this year against Georgia Southern, but outside of that, they've been great. UAB is going to get murdered. I got it 42-14. I mean, Appalachian State, they're 17.5 or 17-point favorite. That's ridiculous. And the game over under is 47.5. So, well, shoot. On to the Gasparilla Bowl. Ooh, I like some of the names of these. Another slaughter. UCF, man, Central Florida. I got them winning 34-14 against Marshall. Another 17-point favorite. And then, I mean, it's a 61 point over under. So, yeah, I mean, some of these games seem pretty obvious like this. So, yeah, man, it should be a murder. On to the next, the Hawaii Bowl. I got an upset, kind of, because BYU is only a 1.5 point favorite. Over and under is 64. And BYU definitely is the more talented team, but Cole McDonald, they're in Hawaii. And this is his final game. So I got him win 35-27. On to the next Independence Bowl. We got the Miami Hurricanes, the depressing Miami Hurricanes versus Louisiana Tech. Miami, they're a 6-point favorite, 49.5 point over under. And I mean, they may be just, I know they got a loss against Florida International, Miami does. But I mean, they have the better talent. They have to win this game. I got them winning, not by much, 20-17. But here's an upset. Here's a real upset. So Pittsburgh's coming into this bowl game, the Quick Lane Bowl, as a 10.5 point favorite. And it's a 49 point over under. I got Pittsburgh losing to Eastern Michigan 23-20. If I had to pick an upset, like if I'm going off like on a stretch, because this is, believe me, this is a stretch, but it's basically a home game for Eastern Michigan. So like I said, if I had to pick an upset, I think this, I'm not saying this is likely, but I like the spread on that game. And then we got North Carolina versus Temple, UNC, baby. I got them winning. They're a 5-point favorite, 53.5 point over under. Temple, they got a pretty good defense, but they've only really faced mediocre competition opposed to UNC, who's been very competitive against pretty good competition. I mean, they went from a 2-loss to a 6-win team, or a 2-win to a 6-win team. So, yeah, I like North Carolina in this one. And then on to the Pinstripe Bowl, Michigan State versus Wake Forest. Michigan State is the favorite by 4.5. I think this could go the other way. I think Wake Forest could win this and win this by like double digits. I got them winning 24-10. Michigan State, their offense non-existent. They just don't have offense. And you know what? Newman, he is very deadly. And if he gets Scotty Washington back, then he's been without him. He's right now questionable, I guess. His certainty for the game is uncertain. How about that? But if you could get him back, he's been without him for the last 4 games. You could tell the offense has kind of struggled. But yeah, I like them in this game. We're going to the Texas Bowl. Oklahoma State versus Texas A&M. I got the home team winning. Texas A&M. It's basically a home game. They're a 7-point favorite anyway. 53.5 point over under. They will be with, it's in Texas, so there's the home advantage. But A&M, they have a very deep defensive line. They'll be missing Justin Matabuke, but like I said, their defensive line there, especially the interior, it's very deep. So I think they'll be able to stop Chubba Bubba Hubbard. And plus, there's no Tylan Wallace. I don't know where the offense is going to come for Oklahoma State. On to the Holiday Bowl, we got USC versus Iowa, and this ought to be a fun game. It was really hard to pick. Iowa's the 1.5 point favorite. It's a 52.5 point over under, but I'm going with USC. I'm going with the Trojans. I like their offensive weapons much better than I just don't know how Iowa's going to get that offense in gear and going. Nate Stanley's been kind of, if not very underwhelming. Plus the game, it's in San Diego, so it's basically a home game for USC. So yeah, Air Force versus Washington State in the Cheez-It Bowl. Like I said, everything just has a bowl nowadays. I got Washington winning. Air Force is actually the favorite by 3.5. It's a 67.5 point over under. But I don't know how they'll keep up with Washington. Anthony Gordon's been pretty solid this year. I got him winning 45-28. Like I said, I don't know how Air Force is going to be able to keep up with Washington State. Cotton Bowl, we got Memphis versus Penn State. Penn State's a 6.5 point favorite. I wouldn't mind going over on that, but it's a 16.5 point over under. I got Penn State winning this 31-16. Penn State's just got so much talent. Like, even they're prone to starting slow, but even if they start slow, they're just so talented. I don't see how they can lose against Memphis. And then Notre Dame versus Iowa. This is the Camping World Bowl. These bold names, man, I swear. Notre Dame's a 4-point favorite. The game's over and under is 55, but I'm going with Iowa State here. Notre Dame, they have some major injuries on the defensive line, and you know what? I really like Brock Purdy. He's amazing, and their losses this year, Iowa, they have 5 of them. Only one of them's been 10 points or more. Like, if you go in and look at it, and it's like who they lost to, which is really important. I mean, you got Iowa by 1 point, Baylor by 2, you got Oklahoma State by 7, you got Oklahoma by 1, and then their finale, Kansas State, they lost by 10. So I think I like Iowa. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of rooting for them. So yeah, I'm going with Iowa in this one. On to the next. We're talking the First Responders Bowl. Western Kentucky versus Western Michigan. And I'm going with Michigan. Western Kentucky is a 3.5 point favorite. 51.5 point over under, but I love Levante Bellamy. He's just so fast. The offensive line's really good too. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't looked too much into Western Kentucky this year. I mean, they're 8-4, so it looks like they've done pretty well, but I just really like Western Kentucky. I love Bellamy. I love him. And then we got the Music City Bowl. Mississippi State versus Louisville. I'm not gonna lie, I got Louisville winning, right? I want to change this so bad, just because now Louisville, they lost Beckton, their offensive tackle. So I mean, they still got their weapons, but I mean that read option game is such a big part of Louisville's offense. It really makes me want to change it, but I already made the overlay, so forget it. Mississippi State is the 4-point favorite, 62.5 point over under. On to our defensive game of the bowl season. We got Cal versus Illinois. Both teams got really good defenses, and they're both actually pretty limited offensively. I think what's going to be the real deciding factor is how effective Reggie Corbin will be. Because I think he will play the game, correct? Let me just check this real quick. And yeah, he should be good to go for the game. All right, good. So yeah, that's why I picked him. Cal is a 7-point favorite. I do love Cal's defense a ton, but I'm giving it to Illinois. They're a resilient team. 43.5 point over under. And that's the Red Box Bowl, just in case you were concerned or wanted to know. I didn't know Red Box was still around. I don't know how they could afford a bowl. Orange Bowl. We got Florida versus Virginia, another slaughter. This game's not going to be close. It's in Florida. It's in Miami, so I got them winning. I mean, Florida, they're a 14-point favorite anyway, 54 point over under. Let's go to the next one. We're talking the Belk Bowl. Got Virginia Tech versus Kentucky. A very interesting, very fun matchup, honestly, because you get to see Lynn, was it Bowden? And yeah, he has been a very interesting player this year. He just plays everywhere. It just, wow. Virginia Tech is a 3-point favorite, 47.5 point over under. For me, I really like Virginia Tech, how they've played down the stretch, especially that defense. And on to the next, we're going to the Liberty Bowl. Florida State versus Arizona State. And shoot, man, this one is interesting because no Cam Akers, and then no Brandon Ayuk for Arizona State. But the thing is, I mean, Florida State, they're already down Marvin Wilson. What else do they have? Say Nazar Ildeen, the safety / linebacker hybrid there, but they don't got much of anything else. I got Arizona State winning. Herm Edwards, congratulations. Arizona State is a 5-point favorite anyway. They still got Eno Benjamin, so they'll probably run all over Florida State. Honestly, this year it doesn't even feel like Florida State belongs in a bowl game. Then we got the Liberty Bowl. We got Navy versus Kansas State. I think this one's going to be just annihilation. Kansas State, I got them winning 35-17. Over under 52. And Navy's the favorite? See, Navy, when they faced competition this year, like Notre Dame, did not do well. And don't mistake, Kansas State, they have a few bad losses, but this is a very good team. And if they come out to play, I don't know what Navy will do. On to the Arizona Bowl. Georgia State versus Wyoming, and I mean, I took the team with the good defense. I love Wyoming's defense. Logan Wilson's been amazing for Wyoming throughout his whole career, honestly. So I got Wyoming winning 28-13. Wyoming is the 7.5 point favorite, 48 over under. On to Utah versus Texas. I got Texas winning this one, and Sam Ellinger's finale here. I got them winning 34-24. Utah really hasn't faced much competition this season. When they have, well, we saw how that went against Oregon. That offensive line's bad, but I mean, this game's gonna be really close. I'm basically, you know what? I think we will see the Texas team that faced LSU. I'm assuming this is Ellinger's last hurrah. The dude's been a great quarterback for Texas. Utah is the 7.5 point favorite, 54.5 point over under. On to Auburn versus Minnesota in the Outback Bowl. Auburn has too much talent. Minnesota, I mean, yeah, I just don't see how Minnesota can win this game against good defenses. That good offense of Minnesota kind of like flounders a little bit. So Auburn's a 7-point favorite. It's a 52.5 point over under. So I'm going Auburn. I think this could be a slaughter. Speaking of slaughters, Michigan versus Alabama in the Citrus Bowl. Alabama, 7-point favorite. I guarantee they win by a heck lot more. It's a 59 point over under. I got Alabama winning 45-20. This team honestly deserved to be in the BCS. If Tua didn't get hurt, of course. I think Tua not being there was a big reason they lost to Auburn. But yeah, I mean, you could honestly see the difference in talent between, because I don't think this Alabama team, as far as talent, is too different from Ohio State. And we saw how Michigan did against Ohio State. Oregon versus Wisconsin. We're going to the Rose Bowl game. This game looks interesting. I got Wisconsin winning this one 27-21. Oregon, that defensive line for Oregon was able to really pick apart Utah because of a weak offensive line, so Zach Moss couldn't really get going. They won't have that against Tyler Biadasz and Cole Van Lannon. I think Jonathan Taylor will get things going. It will be a close game. It's going to be a fun game. Wisconsin is the 3-point favorite, 51.5 point over under. And then we got Georgia versus Baylor. I don't know. I went with the more talented team. I say more talented, the team that has more talent on it. Yeah, I feel like Fromm's coming back too. But yeah, I got Georgia winning the Sugar Bowl. It's in Atlanta, ain't it? No, New Orleans. I'm thinking of something else. But Baylor, man, this is the best defense they probably faced all year. So, yeah, I think even having them just lose by 7 is pushing it. But Georgia is the 7-point favorite. And let's go to the Birmingham Bowl because everyone wants to be in the Birmingham Bowl. I mean, we got Boston College, Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati winning 31-19. Cincinnati is the 7-point favorite. I mean, just so much. Cincinnati provides so much offensively. And I mean, Boston College technically did just fire their coach a week ago. So, yeah, good luck on that. Or it may have been 2 weeks. I don't know. Time flies. We got the Tax Slayer, right? Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Ooh. But Indiana and Tennessee, this could be a hidden gem of a game. I got Indiana winning this one. Tennessee is the 2-point favorite. Both teams have played very well down the stretch. But I really like how Ramsey and is it Penix, their backup quarterback, they've both played phenomenal this season. So I'm going with Indiana, man. I feel it. I don't think all SEC teams could win. Ohio versus Nevada. Oh man. So Nathan Rourke for Ohio, he's actually a pretty darn good quarterback. I got them winning this one 41-24. Ohio actually is the 7.5-point favorite, so nothing surprising here in the Tato Bowl. And then we got the Armed Forces Bowl. Tulane versus Southern Miss. Tulane's actually a 7-point favorite in this game, but I think Tulane, they lack the defense to stop Southern Miss. Southern Miss has actually got a pretty explosive defense when they want to. So I got them win 35-28. It's a 56.5-point over under there. And then we got the Raging Cajuns versus Miami. This is a slaughter. Raging Cajuns, they're a 14-point favorite. It's a 56.5-point over under. Too much run game for those Red Hawks. Let's talk about this now. These championship games now, the playoffs. We're in the Peach Bowl. Oklahoma versus LSU. I got Oklahoma losing to this. I think they're just, it's too much. This defense, I think, is the best defense Oklahoma has faced. And Joe Burrow, man, I don't know how they're gonna stop Joe Burrow. They're not. That's the answer. It's a 70.5-point over under, which could go under in that, I think. I don't think it'll be too much of a shootout, but LSU's a 13.5-point favorite. Like I said, LSU's just too stinking good. And then Ohio State versus Clemson. I actually have, I have Clemson winning this one. They are the favorite, 2.5 or 2-point favorite, 63-point over under. Everyone's giving crap about, Trevor Lawrence hasn't played that as well as he did last season. Bull crap. You look at week 5 and from week 5 out, he might be the best quarterback in the country. That's not Joe Burrow. But yeah, man, I feel like people are really underrating this Clemson team. They're still freaking good, especially on offense. They have so many playmakers. That offensive line is very veteran. It's almost looking like looking in the mirror for Ohio State. Except for I think Clemson has the better playmakers and the better quarterback. It's just my opinion. But yeah, I got them winning. So that means our national championship is Clemson versus LSU. I got LSU, of course, winning 34-31. Like I said, I think LSU is the best team in the country. And then Joe Burrow versus Trevor Lawrence. That's just. But let me know what you think. And yeah, that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.